providing resources and comfort to caregivers. This is Caregiver Crossing.
Oh, you start.
Hey, everybody. This is Caregiver Crossing.
It is.
If you are a first-time listener, we want to let you know that we are a show brought to you by Joy's House, presented in partnership with our friends at Cardon and Associates. And we are here every week to talk about all things caregiving. And hi, I'm your host, Tina McIntosh.
Hi, Tina Bina.
Hi.
Terry Stacy here.
And our lovely producer.
I'm Noah.
And we have a special guest today.
I know. Pretty girl.
You want me to introduce her?
Please.
So in the room, about 22 years ago, I had my first child, and she's here today. And she's 22, and her name's Maya. Hi, Maya.
Hi.
Glad to have you here.
Happy to be here.
Not because she's an expert in caregiving, other than I want her to realize that one day her role will be to care for me.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, so you got to get really close to that mic. And right now, I'd just like you to say, yes, Mom, I will take care of you one day.
Yes, Mom, Webster will take care of you one day.
Oh, I believe that Noah can fix that mistake.
Yeah, I'm going to edit your name in.
Webster is her brother. So, Noah, you just got back from a vacation.
I did. I recently got to go to New York City. I went once when I was a kid, but this was my first time going as an adult, and it absolutely incredible.
Could you live there?
I probably could. I think I probably could live there. It was one of the most fun times I've ever had in my life. We got to go to a Yankees game. We saw some shows, went to Central Park.
Ooh, what shows did you see?
I saw this show called Oh Mary. It's really big right now, and it is hilarious.
How much do you
Probably
pay for a ticket in New York City now to see a show?
I don't even think I want to say it on
No,
the air.
you can say it. I paid a lot of tickets for NASCAR races, so go ahead. Let me hear you.
Upwards. I mean, we got pretty high seats, and they were still upwards like of $100.
Oh, okay, that's not terrible.
Too bad,
Less
not
than
too
I
bad,
thought
but
you were
they
going to
like,
say.
I want to say second row to last, so
Yeah.
we can see the show, but we were.
But you could touch the ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. There's something intimate about that.
Exactly. Yeah.
There really is. There really is. Listen, that's not bad. I mean, you got to see a Broadway show, and there's nothing like that, no matter
really
what you
is.
see,
Yeah.
I think.
It doesn't matter what show. I mean, it's going to be amazing.
Did you see something else?
Not another show, but we saw a Yankees game. We went to the Met, and my girlfriend absolutely loved that. They have a new exhibit right now called Sleeping Beauties, and it's just a bunch of like dresses and garments from overtime that nobody can really wear anymore. They're absolutely beautiful.
Still, big time celebrities, movie stars. You mean?
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe may have worn.
Yes, probably worn once or twice. Never
What'd you
again.
say?
Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, okay.
I bet there's something in there
Did you
from
think I
her.
said Marilyn Manson?
I didn't know who you said, and I was like, I don't know that person, but I was trying
you
to
know
play
Marilyn
it off.
Monroe?
I do know who she is. Norma Jean.
heavens.
I
That's
know
it.
who she
You
is.
know.
Yeah.
Bombshell.
I just got back from a big vacation, and it was a memorial vacation. So I think many of you know my biological father passed away last year, and my brother and sister and I, when he passed, my brother said, I really want the three of us to take a sibling vacation in memory of Dad. So we very intentionally planned it, and we ended up at Jackson, Wyoming. Have you been?
No.
Terry.
But how did you end up there? What was in Jackson, Wyoming? What did you want? What said, let's go to Jackson, Wyoming?
So with great intention, and I think this is important for listeners too, like with great intention, we planned the trip. We wanted there to be components of nature. Animals were special to our dad. We wanted alone time and time together. We wanted to have good food and drink. We wanted all the things. We also knew we wanted to release some of his ashes. He got around just fine when he was alive. So we figured, why not sprinkle him all over the United States? And so I have a good story for you. You ready for some story time?
I'm ready.
So we took in a little, like a double Ziploc bag, and we took the cremation certificate because my sister carried it on the plane, his remains on the plane, his ashes. And we were floating down a river with a guide, and I won't say what river just so nobody can arrest me. We were floating down a river with a guide, this adorable young man that we just fell in love with. And he was rowing behind me. It ended up just being my brother and sister and me in the boat. So it was perfect, right? And eagles everywhere. Like, you guys, we saw every single eagle in the state of Wyoming on that trip. And so we were in our place. My sister was very good and said, can we take a couple minutes just to be? So we got quiet. And we're going down the river, and an eagle, a juvenile eagle, comes flying right toward us and then veers off and goes up in a tree. So I lean up to my sister and said, get Dad out. like, get dad out. And she goes, okay. So she reaches in her bag, gets out the little baggie, opens it up. She takes some of his ashes and very gently drops her hand in the water as we go by, and the ashes kind of, float off. And then she gives it to me, and I take some and I sprinkle them in, and we're like, see you, bud. And then my brother, being a total dude, takes the bag and like dumps half of it over the side of the boat. So I say to the young man driving, we'll call him Billy. Okay. I said, Billy, divert your eyes. And we know this is illegal. This is important to us. And, we don't want to get you in any trouble. And he said, oh, okay, whatever, happens on the river stays on the river. And then a few minutes later, we start talking about dad and his ashes and how that was important to us. And Terry, he said, oh my. And we turn around and look at him, and I can see the stress just rinsing off of his body. And he said, you guys, those were your dad's ashes? I thought you were doing cocaine. But think about it. I was like, Billy, divert your eyes. This is probably illegal. We don't want to get you in any trouble. So we gave poor young Billy
a baggie. Yeah. And there was...
He was probably scared for his life.
Well,
that is very funny.
I think
that is very funny. And I'm sure your dad loved this story.
My dad would have been over the moon. I mean, like, it would have been the best for him.
Oh, I think that's so beautiful. What a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah. So, that was something... Not the cocaine story. It was not cocaine again.
Right. But just the laughter afterwards. I'm sure you all just, which was needed to be included in that moment.
So Maya, where would you take my ashes? If I were cremated, where would you take me?
I would definitely find a willow tree somewhere.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll finally take you to Maine.
Oh, that's a good idea. Because she's always wanted to go to Maine and never got to go to Maine.
My dad won't take her there.
And then you'd be there forever.
You would be there in a place wow.
That is a great answer.
It's such a
Jeff,
answer.
I hope you're listening to the show right now.
Because you'd like to go to Maine while you're still alive.
I would. Do you want to go to Maine, Terry?
Not really.
Oh.
I'll join you. If we can get some food. I like seafood.
I like food.
Everybody wants to go to Maine. It's kind of funny you say that, because that is a thing right now. Is Maine. Everybody wants to go see Maine.
I had a lobster roll for the first time last night.
And it was
amazing. I can't imagine. It was like a 8.2, and I can't imagine how good it would be in Maine.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, did you have that locally?
I had that in
you
Fishers.
can't say where.
I did have it locally.
Yeah, it was local.
It was local. Probably local lobster, too. I mean, everything about that sandwich was local.
Said it was from Maine.
By Maine, I mean the White River. Okay, we have to take a break. But we will be back, and we've got a guest coming from the Restoracy, I believe, right?
Yes, we do.
So
Very
looking forward to
exciting.
having Brian with us.
Okay, you're listening to Caregiver Crossing. This is a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you as a service of Joyce House in partnership with Cardon and Associates. With locations in Broad Ripple and near the University of Indianapolis campus, Joyce House provides exceptional day services for individual living with a life-altering diagnosis and compassionate support for family caregivers throughout the community. At Joyce House, they believe that everyone deserves the right to live their best life, regardless of their abilities. Learn more about our adult day and also caregiver support services by calling 317-254-0828 or by visiting joycehouse.org today. That website address again is joycehouse.org. Stick around. We'll be back with more Caregiver Crossing right after this.
We're back on Caregiver Crossing. I'm Tina McIntosh, joined by my co-host and the beauty queen that she is, Terry Stacy.
Thank you.
And also, of course, we have our producer, Noah, in studio as well. And so we are honored to have with us today the executive director of the Restoracy of Whitestown. And we love them, the concept, everything they're doing. They have a deep commitment in creating a home-like environment for senior residents. And so under Brian Lindsay's leadership, you'll meet him here in just a second. It's not just a care facility. You know, some can fall flat, right? But this is a really warm and welcoming community where people feel truly at home. So thanks for coming in studio and being with us.
It's great to be here. I'm in the presence of royalty with the Queen here.
The Queen is here.
Thank you.
So, Brian, the Restoracy, if you were just to describe it in simple terms, what do you say? And then we'll get into some more of it.
Yeah, great question. The best way to kind of reference or to think about our model, think about nursing home level care in a house. So you all know what living at home feels like, looks like, what the experience is. Most people want that same type of experience forever. They don't want to be institutionalized. So the best way to think about our care is that level of care that requires 24-hour nursing, professional caregiving, therapy, medical oversight, all the things that probably necessitate our level of care. All those things happen, but in a house. And so bedrooms, kitchens, living rooms, fireplaces, all the good stuff.
And are they all
really
connected?
So great question. So we have 2 campuses. One's in Carmel at about 126 on Rangeline, and then our Whitestown campus is right behind Meyer, just about a mile off of 65, so pretty close off the freeway. And so each of them are a neighborhood. So if you were to drive by, you would think, oh, that's a nice neighborhood over there. I wonder, when we were in construction, people would actually stop and say, oh, are these homes for sale? That's how home-like they look. And in the neighborhood setting, you drive around the block in Whitestown, there's 6 homes, and it literally has a block that you drive around. So they share a courtyard, they're backed up against each other. And then in Carmel, it's more of a cul-de-sac. And so it's right behind the Methodist Church there on 126, right off the roundabout. And so we share a parking lot with them. And so you'll pull into the cul-de-sac, and then there's a roundabout at the top, so fire trucks and other things can turn around. But you get the sense that you're in a neighborhood. You have no idea, unless you saw a sign or you went into the homes, that there's actually senior care.
It's so great.
Yeah.
And they're small. And I like that you keep them small.
They are very
in
small
nature.
by
You don't have
design.
like 100 homes. This is very small. And I just like the feel of how it sounds. And the story behind how this all got started is very interesting. Please tell where this inspiration came from.
Sure, it's fun. The story really starts for me in my experience with these homes in graduate school. So when I decided to take my education, which was in healthcare administration, most of my classmates went into hospital management, and I was drawn to senior care because of the intimate relationship that you could have with the residents, their families, the staff, and just really become part of the fabric. And at the same time, there is a stereotype associated with nursing homes. If I say I work in a nursing home, more likely than not, there's going to be some type of negative perception you're going to have of that environment, that experience, because of something you've experienced, something you've heard. And so I felt motivated and also excited about trying to change that perception. And one of the reasons I got into long-term care was so that I could be part of that change and helping people have a better perception with more love, more care. And that's one of the attractive things about being a nursing home administrator is you have the ability to influence that in a small environment. After 10, 11 years of doing that in what we would call big box or institutional nursing homes, I realized that my influence could only go so far. I'd worked for companies that had done, change of ownership. They'd take the same old nursing home, put a new name on it, paint the walls, redo the floor, and say, yay, but then it's still the same bricks and mortar, still the same operation.
Well, let's be honest, the most beautiful place, like a person, the most beautiful place can become very ugly and unattractive very quickly.
Yeah.
Right?
And you can't judge a book by its cover. And I want to be really careful. The industry in general is staffed and operated by wonderful people.
Yes.
This is an incredible, people don't get into this career, into this calling if they don't have good hearts and good intentions.
I appreciate you saying that because I think long-term care gets such a bad rap sometimes, and that's not true, right? Like for those who need it, it can be the most beautiful and warm and welcoming thing.
Yeah. It just takes one bad apple.
Well, it does. Unfortunately, that's what people grab hold of often.
Right.
So.
It covers everybody.
And all these things are true. They are wonderful people. And the thing that I learned over my experience before we opened the Restoracy was people don't want this model. They don't want to be institutionalized. They fear being put in a bed down the hall and experiencing life on a schedule that is just not desirable. It's very institutional. You've lost a lot of freedom and dignity, and so.
And then when that happens, the person that needs that care becomes somebody withdrawn and not telling the truth to family, and will do anything they can to not be told, yeah, Mom, we're going to take you
out of fear.
Out of fear. And so then the lies come and it snowballs, unfortunately.
So for you all, like, what is a typical day like?
Great question. So the day is different for everyone. In a traditional nursing home, the day starts when the cooks come because they have to cook the food. And because of the nature of the size of the community, they have to get that food from those cooks to all corners of the facility. And so everyone's got to be on a schedule and say, okay, we've got to have all these people up at this time because that's when the food arrives. So we're all on the same schedule as the food. In the Restoracy homes, the kitchen is small. It's just literally, you would walk into our kitchen, you say, oh, I have that same oven or that same stovetop. You're cooking for a large family. It's 12 people, so you're only cooking for a family, and you don't have to mass produce the food. You cook the food real time. The residents smell the food, so when they wake up, they smell breakfast. And some of them wake up early, some of them wake up quite late, almost brunch time. And so when we're rounding in the morning, just checking in how things are going throughout the day, we'll see people that are having breakfast at 10, 10:30.
But it's just like home.
Yeah. And wouldn't these people that have retired, that don't have to get up and go to work, wouldn't you want to sleep in and live life on your terms? Yeah. And so
I've not retired yet, and the answer is yes.
Yeah. Wouldn't we all? And so that's just one of the necessities of large facilities, is that they have to be orchestrated because the size of the operation. The small concept allows for much more personal time, personal way of living life, and being able to do the things when you want to do them.
So you're hearing the voice of Brian Lindsay, who's the executive director of the Restoracy of Whitestown. And a question before we have to take a quick break here is, what's the benefit then of, and I think I know the answer, but everybody eats together, right? Whether it's at 10 o'clock for brunch or it's 8 o'clock for breakfast, and there's a benefit to everybody coming around the table together.
Yeah. I mean, that's food. Most homes, the kitchen is the hub. That's where the families come together. That's where the conversation, hey, how was your day at school? Tell me about your day. What were the good, the bad? Sharing stories over food. We get together. Eating is a social activity. And so at the Restoracy, and literally, so it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. About an hour and a half ago, I was walking through one of the homes, and they were having lunch, and there were 10 people there, and they were conversing. They were chatting with the staff. They were listening to some music. It was very much a home setting. You would not know that you were, at a nursing home because the people are there.
Well, and I would imagine
like
it can be, I can be there at 6 o'clock in the morning, and there might be somebody up having coffee, and everybody else might still be asleep. Like, no matter what time of the day you're there,
that's a great point.
Whatever they want to be doing, which, let's be honest, in personalized, person-centered care is the most important thing.
Right.
We're going to have to take a break here, but when we come back, I want you to tell people how they can come and learn more about the Restoracy. So we'll be back in a moment.
You're listening to Caregiver Crossing. This is a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you as a service of Joy's House in partnership with Cardon and Associates, with locations in Broad Ripple and also near the University of Indianapolis campus. Joy's House provides exceptional day services for individuals living with a life-altering diagnosis and compassionate support for family caregivers throughout the community. At Joy's House, we believe that everybody deserves to live their best life, regardless of their abilities. You can learn more about our adult day and caregiver support services by calling us at 317-254-0828 or by visiting joycehouse.org today. That address again is joycehouse.org. Stick around. We're going to be right back with more Caregiver Crossing right after this.
Hey, we're back. Caregiver Crossing. I'm Terry Stacy in studio with
Tina McIntosh.
I'm kidding. I'm Tina. That's
no,
Terry.
don't confuse them. You're confusing. Now I don't even know. Hi.
You don't even know who you are. But I know who Brian Lindsay is, and he's in studio with us. He's the executive director of the Restoracy of Whitestown. And I actually have some quiz questions for us today.
Okay.
But before we do that, hold on. Before you get so excited, I love it. How can people, do they just come to the Restoracy? Do they get on your website?
There's 3 ways that you can get in touch with us. Okay. One, you can come to our front door. Just like a house, you can ring the doorbell. And on each campus, both in Carmel and in Whitestown, there is a house that is not for the residents. It's an office so that our work does not infringe upon their day-to-day.
So just walk up, ring the doorbell like a human.
Yep, just come to our
Fantastic.
house, walk in. Second would be to come to our website. That's for either location, www.therestoracy.com, so the restoracy.com.
Okay.
And then the phone numbers for both locations, Carmel's is 317-401-8888. And Whitestown is 317-769-8888. So both of them are
easy enough. A bunch of eights. Just dial a bunch of eights. But the restoracy.com, I think, because you can get the website, or you can get the
pictures,
mailing
floor
address.
plans.
Yeah, all the things, right?
All the different levels of care.
All right.
Contact information. Yep.
So here's a question I have for all three of you. All right. I am co-chairing what's called Reframe Aging Work Group. It's for the Indiana Governor's multi-sector plan that we're putting into place. It's a 10-year plan, which seems like a long time, right? Of how do we age well in the state of Indiana? So here are my questions for you. If you were to think about aging, everyday kind of stuff, don't go big on me, don't go policy, just everyday stuff. What makes aging better, more purposeful, more fun, easier, something to look forward to?
Something to look forward to. That's something.
Well, because truly part of it is we dread it, right? And,
We dread it. We do dread it.
I can tell you I'm a more confident person now than I was 10, 20, 30 years ago. So that's not something to dread. But what are the things that make it easier? And I can give you an example if that would help the conversation. What if, let's just say by magic, restaurants said, I am open from 5 to 7. The lights are going to be up a little bit higher so you can see everything. And the noise is going to be down a little bit lower so you can hear. Because I can tell you at the age of 52, I sometimes have a hard time. I notice I lean in to the right a little bit, which tells me I don't hear as well with my left ear, right? I lean in and say it again. And something's happening. And I'm that person when I go to a restaurant that I'm like, oh my Lord, like boots and cats and boots and cats. Why is it so bumpy and loud in here?
I wish we could have subtitles in real life. That would help me.
I'm going to write that down.
That's brilliant.
That really would be helpful.
It would be
wouldn't it?
helpful. Yeah. But I think the thing is, at least from where I come with my radio background, I know that businesses and companies don't care about seniors. And because they want to, everybody's always still looking for that younger generation that will be here to stay for a while. So I'm not sure that, and I wish I hope I'm wrong. But I think
you are too,
companies
who has more money.
I agree. But you'll even look at radio advertisers. They're still wanting that 25 to 54. That's why oldies radio stations have gone away. That the marketing group, those young faces that are taking over marketing groups, when they move in, and it's always been this way. It's as long as I've been in radio for 40 years. The advertisers still want a 25 to 54-year-old audience that's listening to them. And I believe that's because the companies they represent also want those young people. Yeah. And again, I could be totally wrong.
That's interesting. But I think,
I wish that I wish I was wrong, and I may be very, very wrong. But unless you're very specific, I'm thinking about restaurants, and would they be willing to do that?
But that translates in my mind into from a governor's multi-sector plan, getting people across the sectors to understand your older population, meaning second half of life,
that's right,
has the money.
Right? And we're living longer.
Right. So you probably want to target us too.
Yeah. If you're a car dealership or something, it's okay to go after that older. They've got the money. And they've got they have the ability to, and they're lasting. Humans are lasting longer on Earth.
Good point. Okay. Right. What else? What else you got?
Well, I was just wondering, we talk a lot about how aging adults experience a lot of loneliness. So I'd love to see some more community aspect. I mean, much like the Restoracy, they emphasize community so much. I think it would be amazing to have like a mentorship program where some older adults could teach some of the younger people, and that would give them some of that form of community too. They could just share their life stories as well.
Cross-generational experiences. Yeah. I think one of the things that we've seen, as you look at the spectrum, age is just a number, right? I mean, these are people that have really experienced life, know what life's all about, and can share their experiences.
They're the most interesting.
It's incredible.
The demographics.
We were just blown away with the stories and just some of the people. We had a resident that stayed with us in our Carmel community. He was the developer of Big Red chewing gum. I've chewed 1,000 pieces of that, and we're taking care of the guy that invented it. I mean, just really cool stuff like that.
I want to talk to him.
Yeah, I know.
That is cool.
And a few other flavors as well. But one of the other things that I think is important for listeners.
Juicy fruit. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Double mint,
back there.
It was a bubble yum or something like that.
Go on.
But,
fruit stripes.
So we've got a
fruit
spectrum of different needs. And so, when I say age is a number, so what people, when you say seniors or people that are advancing in years, what they may be looking for fresh out of retirement is probably more travel, fun, more of a social experience. And then as the body revolts on our fun, rains on our parade, and just some of the natural life processes start where, we're losing our hearing, our eyesight, our ambulation, all the different things we need to do to enjoy life to its fullest. And maybe you need professional care. There is a spectrum. So, home health, independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing. And so when you think about that spectrum, one of the things that I've said for many years, it is a great time in our history to age, because there are so many more options out there. It's not just, you're at this convalescent center, you're at the nursing home, and that's where you have to go. It's, what do you like to do? What do you value? You want to be out and tour and get on the bus and go to events and things like that. There's this beautiful, cruise ship style assisted living or independent living that does those things. Or I grew up on a country farm and I just want simple life. I want small. I don't want to be around a lot of people. I want to have a small, intimate environment. And so, I've kind of shown a perspective or a spectrum of what people may want and what they value. And so the nice thing for seniors is there's something for everyone. You can find it.
For everyone. And so if you're looking for the Restoracy, we want to encourage you to go to therestoracy.com. You can hear it in his voice. He cares.
Yes,
right?
he does.
Great leader.
We all
great.
care.
What you're doing
it's
is
a great
great.
industry.
Yeah, it is a wonderful industry. And I'm really glad you're part of it. I'm glad you're here on Caregiver Crossing. And
thank you for your time.
We hope you'll come back and visit again.
Great. It's been wonderful.
If you would like to answer the question about what would help make aging in Indiana and Illinois, I don't get to represent Illinois, but we know we have listeners there. More fun, more purposeful, more exciting. Email me at tina@joycehouse.org. No thought is too small. So again, tina@joycehouse.org. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Until then, you are listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you by Joyce House in partnership with our friends at Cardon and Associates, and they have 20 communities owned, operated, or managed in the Midwest, and more than 40 years of senior living experience. Cardon and Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us for more information and to find a community near you. For now, just stay put. We'll be back here in just a moment, almost closing out the hour here with more Caregiver Crossing right after the break.
Welcome back to Caregiver Crossing. Thank you again, Brian. Thank you so much to our listeners, too, for sticking around with us through this last break. I'm Terry Stacy, along with Tina McIntosh, and producer Noah's here. Maya is back in the room. And we just, as we said, finished our conversation with Brian. I liked your question.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, if you're just tuning in.
Oh, okay. So if you're just joining us, I hope that you will email me at tina@joycehouse.org with your thoughts on aging. In the state of Indiana, I'd also be interested to hear from those of you in Illinois, although I'm representing a committee for the governor's multi-sector plan in Indiana. But what are some simple things that we can do? And Maya, I'd like to hear your perspective on this. What are some simple things we can do that make aging attractive, fun, purposeful? I'll give you an example of something that somebody said to me. What if we had checkout lanes at big grocery stores between, I don't make up the hours, 8 and 10 a.m. only for people over the age of 65?
And that does occur on occasion. Some of the big box stores will do that, just opening it up for seniors to come in. I think that's awesome. I like that idea.
Right? Because I hear so many people as they're aging say, I feel hurried and I get nervous and I want to grocery shop, So that's a very practical example. Can you think of anything that makes it, because we think of aging and we're like, I'm getting older, and we have all these negative things in our head. And that's part of the problem. I
think it is too, the perception. It's always been this way, right?
But why?
I don't know. Because in other countries, it's not necessarily that the seniors are revered and they're put up on a pedestal and they're appreciated and loved. Here, even when you're looking at social media, and somebody that might be over 65 will be one of those that will reply to something that's been said, and somebody will automatically attack them. You're old, get off the lawn. I hear you, get out of here.
Right.
And there's I don't know how you change that.
I mean, I look around at the pictures we have in studio here, and these are some of the most beautiful faces that I've ever seen. And it's because they have personality and history, and you can tell who's spent years out in the sun and who has these great wrinkles. And like, there's this bald woman, this beautiful Black woman with all this great garb on and these gigantic glasses. I don't think she did that when she was 20. She waited until she was 70 and had the confidence to do that. I don't really know her, but I make up a story in my head, right? Yeah. But like, I have more confidence now at the age of 52 than I did when I was 20. So I don't know. Any little things we can think of that would make a difference?
Maya, what scares you about getting older? What scares you? What you wish was a different, so that you would not be as nervous about getting older? I mean, you got a long way to go.
My mindset on aging myself has changed a lot. And you talk about the negative mindset that surrounded it, but I've redirected that to being like, we don't age because of time. We age because of the things that we've put onto our bodies. Like, we go out in the sun and we enjoy the things that we do, and our joints get weak because we run and we play with little kids and all the kind of things. So I think the first step in embracing aging is to like realize that it's because we've been experiencing things.
We've lived life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
that's a good answer.
I think it's really fair. Like, I beat this body up emotionally, right? Well, no, but I mean emotionally, like, oh, I'm 50 pounds more than I used to be. So I am obese, and like, I don't look as good as I used to. And things are sagging and all the wrong ways and, all this stuff. But at the same time, this is the body that's gotten me through cancer twice and a colon resection. And I birthed 3 children, one of which was 10 pounds. Might I add?
In the room? Is she in the room?
Not it.
Not it. Yeah. I lost 3 babies. I have a brain tumor. I had brain surgery. And look at this body. It's still here, and it's not so bad, right?
No. And the things we've talked about celebrating scars. I wanted to have, and Tina wanted to have a scar fest, because I think scars are a beautiful thing of survival or a story to be told. And you have scars. I have scars, and every one of them is symbolizing another moment that you thrived, and you're still alive, and that scars.
We should still do our scar fest.
I'd love to have a scar fest.
We talked about a tattoo fest too.
Yeah.
But so Jeff and I went to the fair, which is where Terry's spending most of her time, in the last month or so.
Our state fair.
Our wonderful state fair. And the woman who was directing us, taking our money to park the cars, and if you're listening, you're a beautiful woman, and she has this wonderful scar kind of across her chest, big. And I said to her, I kind of leaned over Jeff and I said, "Excuse me," I said, "I think your scar is beautiful." Oh. And everything on her face changed, and she lit up and she said, "Thank you. It almost killed me, but I'm still here." Wow. And I thank her for that moment, right?
She thanks you for that moment.
It was beautiful.
Saying that was a beautiful thing to say to her.
It was a beautiful scar. But yeah, so Maya, good answer.
That's great.
Anything else anybody can come up with?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, well, recently we kind of had to talk to my grandpa a little bit about taking the keys away. He can't really drive so much anymore, so I was kind of thinking maybe if there's like a transportation service or something for our aging adults.
Yes.
Really incredible.
And it's very difficult. I know with mine, when my father couldn't drive anymore before he passed away, how much he wanted to get into the car and he wanted to go somewhere and he didn't want somebody to take him and he wanted to drive. I talked to Tina about this. I thought there should be in this day and age some sort of AI or some sort of thing that you can jump into a magical car and then put in, "I'd like to go visit Irvington to this address and go see his new home," and he can drive there virtually. Mm-hmm. I wish there was something like that. There's not. If anybody knows of something like that, please let me know.
I'm writing all the notes.
Wonderful. That was what Noah said was really good about.
I wrote it. I got it.
Thank you for writing
If there was some sort of just for seniors.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to have to go. In closing, I do want to say that we are having our Death Over Drafts, which is part of our end of life program here at Joy's house. And it is going to be this Tuesday, 5:30 at the Gugman House?
Gugman House.
Gugman House Brewing, which is on Gent Avenue in Indianapolis. And you can come and you can grab a beer, you can grab a Coca-Cola, a glass of water, anything you want, however you want to do this. We invite you to come in and relax and engage with each other for a couple of hours. We use questions from something called a death deck, which sounds very dark and like I should be like, the death deck.
Bum, bum, bum.
But it's awesome.
It's thought-provoking.
It is so good. I have
Conversation
not
starters.
met one person who's come to a Death Over Drafts and regretted coming. Now, unfortunately,
good.
Maya and I will not be there. We're going to be at Mickey's camp, which is a whole different wonderful thing. But I hope that you all go.
I'm going. I'll be there.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Come meet Noah. He'll be there 5:30 on Tuesday at the Gugman House Brewing on Gent Avenue in Indianapolis. And so, yeah.
Good.
I love you guys. Maya, I'm
love
glad
you.
you're here.
I'm glad.
It was fun to
glad
see
you're here,
Maya.
too.
Yeah. Come back.
All right. The rest of you come back too. We've got to go. Email me, tina@joyshouse.org. Please do not wait. We need your input and we need it now. Have a great day. Oh, but wait, Cardon and Associates, we just want to say thank you to our sponsors. They are wonderful, and we're grateful for them. So, okay, we really are going to go. See you next time.